Hello and welcome to the Strong, Healthy, Happy podcast. My name is Debra. Thank you so much for joining me. I just want to express my appreciation for you taking the time to listen to my podcast. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Please hit that subscribe, follow button so that you can be updated whenever I upload a new episode. Now, let's get straight into it. Today, I'm going to talk about weight loss truths I wish I'd have known years ago. Now, if you have been an avid listener to my podcast, you will know, like the majority of the population, I have a history of dieting. And I remember since a teenager wanting to lose weight, going through secondary school, never quite feeling thin enough, good enough, worthy enough. And a lot of some of the thoughts and beliefs I developed as a teenager followed me into my 20s. And it wasn't really until I hit my 40s that I really started to challenge my beliefs, educate myself, and become a certified nutritionist and really understand about relationship with food, body image, obviously nutrition, but how to apply it to real people with habits and behaviors that like me has followed them through life. I do want to offer you, the listener, reassurance first and foremost that of all the women I've worked with, I would say 100% of them have come into coaching with me with some rules and conditions and dieting beliefs that they have picked up throughout their life. Like me, some from a teenager, tried so many different diets, they haven't worked, going around a cycle of, losing, gaining, yo-yo dieting, and feeling really unhappy. And it's really common. So first of all, if you are struggling with weight loss and never really, trying so many things, but never really finding sustainable weight loss, long-term success, you're certainly not alone. And I do want to reassure you that you're not stuck, you're not broken. It's not about you not being disciplined enough or motivated enough. It is a lot deeper than that. And it's really about addressing the foundation of what you need to do in order to successfully lose weight in a really healthy way that positively impacts all areas of your life, your well-being, your physical health, whilst you're losing weight and maintaining that weight in a way that works for you in your life, that feels good and enables you to sustain it long term going forwards. Now, if like me in my past, and bearing in mind I've worked in the health and fitness industry since I was 19 years old, even though I worked in the fitness industry, and I can say this with confidence now in the current day, that there are many coaches, they may not admit it, but they also have certain, depending on their background, certain dieting beliefs, behaviors, thoughts and feelings around food, their own body image, and it's really common. And so for the lay person, the average woman, especially in midlife, we have spent years growing up in diet culture, being confused, misinformed, and given so much conflicting advice. It makes weight loss become very complicated, and also question ourselves, if is what we're doing the right thing? Should I be having this? Should I not be having that? Because there's so much information out there. I also just want to touch on lightly, this isn't the point of my podcast at all, but if you are listening to this and you are using weight loss injections, I do want to express my thoughts on this, and that is that I am fully supportive of weight loss injections. They are changing the lives of many people who have struggled with weight loss all of their life. However, the points that I'm going to talk about are still relevant to you, because whilst you're on the weight loss injections, they are helping quieten the food noise, suppress your appetite, slow down your digestion, which keeps you full. You still need to work on the habits and the behaviors that led to you gaining the weight in the first place. So even though you're going to be losing it, taking the weight loss injections, If you don't build the positive habits and behaviors and structure and routine, once you come off those weight loss injections, if you don't have structure, if you haven't worked on the issues that led to you gaining weight in the first place, you could find yourself steadily gaining weight and getting back there, which obviously is not something that I would want to happen for you and that you wouldn't want to happen. So it is really important to address some of the thoughts and beliefs that you have, no matter where you are in your life, what you're doing, what your thoughts and beliefs are. I know that they're very common, and I'm sharing with you some of the thoughts and beliefs that I had in my past, that you may be able to resonate with. And maybe it's just one point, maybe it's all of them. Maybe I haven't included something that that you're going through, in which case do know that you can always reach out, contact me, ask me questions. All my contact details are in the show notes. I welcome the connection and helping as much as I possibly can. Now, not only did I spend years confused and misinformed when it came to weight loss, I also thought that weight loss was the magical answer to feeling happier, to gaining more confidence, to building a better relationship with food and my own body image, but it never did. And the reason for that is because focusing on weight loss alone, making it your sole purpose, is really not a healthy or sustainable approach to losing weight and living in a body that you feel happy in and be able to sustain long term. Of course, losing weight is going to benefit your health, and that will make you feel good. You'll feel more in control. But if you're missing out a lot of the other elements that needs to be included in your weight loss journey, you're not going to magically feel more confident just because you've lost pounds on the scales. It is a lot deeper than that. And I'm not going to go into all of those reasons, but I do want to touch on it because I know, I coach a lot of women. I've been through this myself, is weight loss alone isn't enough. We need to look at the bigger picture. Before I can build that bigger picture, we need to address the common weight loss myths and the things that I discovered and the truths that I'm going to share with you. So first of all, number one is I used to skip meals and think that I needed to eat as little as possible during the day. And I know that when clients start with me and they keep a food diary for a good couple of weeks so I can review what they're currently doing. A lot of the time I see really small, low-calorie meals. And the problem with that is that it often impacts you later in the day and can lead to constant snacking in the evening when that hunger catches up. And the amount of calories you're consuming from the snacking probably is a lot more than if you'd have just had 3 nourishing meals in your day, i.e. breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it might sound not conducive to a weight loss goal, eating nourishing, substantial meals, but actually it manages your hunger, regulates your appetite, and reduces your need to be snacking relentlessly most evenings. Doesn't mean that you can't include a snack, but you'll be snacking a lot less. I had no idea about, I knew the basics in nutrition, obviously as part of my fitness qualification and personal training qualification, but actually the application of nutrition and behavior change amongst women is a skill I've learned through my nutrition certification, because I often hear, and you probably say this yourself, is I know what to do, I just don't do it. And it's not because you don't know. I mean, there might be some things you don't know, but often it's not about what you don't know. It's about understanding your behaviors as to why you're not doing what it is that you know you need to do in order to get the results that you want to get. Having a better understanding of nutrition, understanding portion sizes, how to create balanced meals, understanding that creating balanced meals will keep you much more satisfied during the day, later in the evening. They are more satiating as opposed to eating as little as possible. And like me, or like I used to do, if you find that you are snacking in the evening, really think about what it is that you're eating during the day. And I'm not going to go into the specifics of how to create a balanced meal. I have recorded podcast episodes on this before. And again, if there's any information you specifically want, please do get in touch. Number two, I thought cardio was the answer. I used to do loads of running. I used to go in the gym. I wouldn't use weights. I'd just jump on the cross trainer or the bike or the treadmill or do anything but lift weights. I thought getting hot and sweaty and seeing how many calories I'd burned was the answer to weight loss. And firstly, the calories that you see burned on your activity watches is an inaccurate measure of the calories that you probably are actually burning. And even if they were accurate, it's really irrelevant because with cardio, it also can spike hunger and then you end up eating more. Or maybe you get to the end of your workout and you think, oh, I expended, 300 calories. Wow, what can I have? I've earned 300 calories. And what often happens is you end up over consuming what you actually burnt off from your cardio session. It's also a very unhealthy cycle to get into where you feel like you need to earn or burn your food. It doesn't work. And this leads me into number three, which is viewing exercise as a punishment or a reward in exchange for food, almost like a currency. Oh, I'm going out for dinner. I know I'm going to go and do a quick run or do some cardio, burn some calories so I can eat, more at my meal out. Or, oh, I overate yesterday or I ate too much chocolate. I know I'm just going to burn more calories the following day. It's a really unhealthy cycle, and it is a punishment and a reward. And you're a human being. You don't need to reward yourself with food like you might do a dog or a pet of some sort. It's a really unhealthy cycle, and it doesn't work. And I know because I used to do it. I also used to think that cardio would get me toned. It would get me the body I wanted. The more calories I burned, the better I'd look. But actually, it didn't. Losing weight without lifting weight will just make you a smaller version of your larger self. You won't be toned. You won't have a body composition that looks healthy. And you need muscle to give you an improved body composition, both in health, internally, as well as externally, looking healthy and looking toned. I avoided lifting weights. I thought, what's the point? I just want to get sweaty and hot. Really, when I started lifting weights in my mid-40s, it was a game changer and benefited me and all the women that I work with and introduce to strength training. It is what gets them results. Yes, I still do cardio. It forms part of my overall exercise routine, but a very, very big, large portion of my exercise routine is lifting weights. Lifting weights will enable you to, at the very minimum, maintain the muscle you have that breaks down day to day. It's part of life. We want to maintain the muscle we have, and we do that by lifting weights and also eating a diet high in protein. Muscle will also reduce symptoms caused by menopause, such as reduced bone density, muscle loss, long-term health, metabolic health, heart disease. We need muscle. We want muscle to reduce risk of injury, to support the aging process, and to give you aesthetically the body shape that you're striving for, that weight loss alone will not give you. And it's only when I started lifting weights that I saw changes to my body shape. And I have continued now in my mid-50s to still being able to build muscle. So if anyone tells you that you can't build muscle in menopause, point them in my direction, because there are many other women just like me, lots of my clients as well, who are building muscle in their 50s. And so I have a client in her late 50s who is, her body composition has changed. She has grown muscle. She looks more toned. So if you're wanting to look more toned, please, you need to start lifting weights. And if you're unsure where to start or how to do it, you need to reach out. Number four, I used to tell myself I was being good or being bad, dependent on the food that I've eaten. And you might still do that. Oh, I shouldn't eat cake. It's bad. Or, oh, I'm eating an apple. I'm being good today. Like you are, if you think about it, you're basing your behavior based on the food that you eat. Like eating a salad makes you a good person. I think helping an elderly lady across the road would make you a good person, not whether you eat a salad or eat a slice of cake. They don't make you a good or a bad person. When you think of it like that, you kind of think, oh my God, yeah, why would I determine the whole success of my day based on what I've eaten? Labeling certain foods as good or bad will lead to you having an unhealthy relationship with food and also lead to you being all or nothing or thinking, fuck it, I've been bad, I might as well just be really bad. And what happens is the language you use to describe or think or feel about certain foods, which by the way is not your fault. It's language you've picked up from the mainstream diet clubs, points, sins. Like you've sinned because you ate some chocolate or maybe a bit more chocolate than you'd originally planned. That doesn't make you a sinner, just makes you a person that just ate a bit too much chocolate. It's fine. Move on with your day. Get on with it. So the language you use is really important. Food does not have feelings. Food is autonomous. It's neither good nor bad. Yes, some food is more nutritious and healthy, but some food is really delicious and it helps us and benefits us psychologically and also helps with our adherence to eating more of the good stuff. So it's not about being good or bad. And when you change your language or keep calling yourself out, when you find yourself describing your day or your behavior by good or bad based on what you eat, keep calling yourself out, because the all or nothing mentality that often happens when you think you've been bad leads to that fuck it mentality. This is what's setting you back from achieving the very goal that you want. Being good, let's just talk about being good. What I take that as, my understanding, when someone says, I've had a good day, generally means that they've eaten the perfect diet or the perfect foods that they consider makes them have a good day. It means that everything went to plan as they'd intended. Now, there are also those days where you might start off having a good day. And if you're not watching in video, I'm doing air quotes because it's not about having a good day. There's more to your day than based on the food that you eat. But what happens when you start off having a good day and then Doris comes to the office into the office on her birthday with a cake, and you want to have a slice of cake, and then that makes your good day bad, and then you screw the rest of your day because you had one slice of cake for Doris's birthday, and then you fuck off the rest of the day because you perceive you've been bad, instead of enjoying Doris's birthday cake, going home, eating dinner and leaving it there. Have a bit of fruit after dinner instead of the planned dessert you were going to have. It's not about making your good days even better. It's about making what you consider your bad days better and not writing them off completely just because something didn't go to plan or you were impromptu or something happened you hadn't planned into your day. When you break this unhealthy cycle of good and bad, all or nothing, you will really start to break the cycle that has you losing and gaining, and never really getting anywhere. It will also improve your relationship with food. Now, you might think that your relationship with food is absolutely fine, but if you do have an all or nothing mentality, that is a bit of a giveaway that it's not really where it needs to be. Finding food freedom, having peace, is one of the greatest discoveries you can find for yourself. Instead of having consistent food noise, thinking about food, when you've eaten a meal, thinking about what you're having for your next meal, what you fancy, what you're craving. it's really exhausting. And one of the benefits of people that are taking weight loss injections is the reduction of the food noise. But what happens when you stop those injections? The food noise will return. It doesn't stop. It comes back pretty much instantly. So having the understanding of how to support yourself to quieten that noise is going to be really important. Number 5, the importance of building consistent habits. I always feel like everyone's heart drops when I mention habits. It's like, oh God, here we go again. Habits, habits. You know what? Your habits, building consistent habits, is one of the best things you can do for yourself. This would never have crossed my mind back in the day, back in my teenage and 20s and my 30s. Habits, I didn't even know what that word was. We use it a lot more these days. But building consistent habits is like, when you see a new warehouse or building going up for the first time, and you see the frame, the structure, whether that be from wood or metal, you can start to see the shape of the structure of what building they're actually building. Think of that structure and that frame as your habits. Once that house or warehouse is fully built, covered in bricks, right? The bricks may crumble over time. However, the structure and the frame is going to be solid. So no matter what happens, you might need to do a new paint job, a bit of decorating, repoint some bricks. But at the end of the day, the structure is still there. The foundation of that building is still there. Your habits are like your foundation. They help you build structure, have routine, and enable you to be consistent. Even when things don't go to plan, even when you had a slice of Doris's cake and you hadn't planned it, you build your habits and structure. And habits can be anything that supports your health. And for me, in the fundamentals, what I believe are consistent habits are to treat yourself with some self-respect and do the things that make you feel good, such as exercise. Now, what type of exercise you do, like any exercise, all movement is good movement. It's going to help you mentally, emotionally, as well as physically. But habits, when you're in a routine of doing exercise, Monday you might do Pilates, Tuesday you might do the gym, Wednesday you have a rest day, Thursday you do another gym workout, Friday you do the class because you love the social aspect. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, but you need to be doing it consistently and have a routine. Might change week to week, depending how your life and work and family commitments look. But basically, you know that you love exercise. You don't love it before it, but you love the feeling it gives you after. So you build that structure. You know that you're going to be having your 3 meals a day. Build structure with those meals. What time is breakfast? Keep it roughly the same time every day. The same with lunch, the same with dinner. Of course, weekends might look a bit different, but have structure. Know that you're not going to go into those areas of where you're starving hungry because you haven't eaten for hours, and then nothing seems to hit the spot and you can't satisfy yourself, which is not the place you want to get to when you're trying to lose weight. Eating at regular meal times, having structure, creating those balanced and healthy, high protein, high fiber, nutritious meals. Walking, moving, not sitting down all day being inactive. Obviously, if your job entails you sitting down, I have a sedentary job. I'm at my laptop for hours, but I make sure that I build in regular walks so that I'm moving. Even if they're shorter, I will try and do more frequent walks. Or if I've got time for a longer walk, then I'll do a longer walk. But I walk. It benefits my mental well-being and my health. And when you do something as simple as even a 10-minute walk, you feel so much better for it that it will have a knock-on effect to the other things that you do in the day. And starting your day with something positive tends to set the tone for the rest of the day. But when you build habits, you build structure, routine, and consistency, and puts you in a much better place of finding balance as opposed to all or nothing, having a good day or having a really bad day. How did I get to my current place? So because I look back at my past self and I was working in the fitness industry, but nutrition's like a tiny module on a personal training qualification, even today. So what did I do? I certified as a nutritionist. And it is the best thing I have ever done and enabled me to become an online coach. Not only improve my own education, knowledge, and the way I show up for myself every single day, it led to me coaching online and helping other women that were stuck in the same cycles and beliefs that I had that was getting in the way of them losing weight. And changing your mindset and approach with better education, which you don't need to do a nutrition course. I obviously I'm biased, but investing in coaching, whoever it's with, obviously make sure they're a good coach. Investing in coaching will really help you get the support that you need to change your mindset and your approach to weight loss, to exercise, to strength, your relationship with food, um, going through menopause, putting you in the best place possible in terms of your health, and also improving your happiness. Um, I help women break free from yo-yo dieting pretty much every day as part of my job. And I've learned a method that really helps them not only to lose weight, but also to feel stronger, fitter, healthier, live a life they love, and live in a body that they feel happy in. If any of the points that I've mentioned resonate with you, or you're like, oh God, that's what I do now, or that's what I think or feel now, please know that you can change. It is never too late. I didn't fully change until my 40s, and it's never too late. You can always make change. You are not broken. You are not stuck. And if I can make the change, then you can too. And having support, guidance, help, and accountability from a good coach will really help you achieve that. If you would like to find out more about coaching, click the link in my bio to an application form. And if there's anything you need additional support with, contact me. I'm most responsive on my social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. Please do message me. Know that I'm here for you. I hope you found this podcast helpful. Please do leave me a comment and a review. It goes a long way in bringing this podcast to the attention of other women who may also be struggling. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.